Hey Mom. So this is my dump garden. This is where I told you that I like just dumped a whole bunch of seeds from 2013 on. Got a bunch of zinnias, these big leaves. This over here, this is going to be cantaloupe. And then I've got some all these little white flowers that you see down here. Those are beans. I have no idea what kind of beans, but I'm growing beans. And then back along the fence line back there, that's where my sunflowers are coming up, and the bunnies keep eating them. So I have no idea what's going to grow there, if I'm going to have actual sunflowers. And then down here in my dump garden, I've got more watermelon down here. So nothing is there yet except a bunch of flowers. So we're going to walk over that way. And so these are my cucumbers. They're here. I got six cucumber plants in here, and I've got one baby cucumber growing down there. But look how healthy this all looks. Isn't that lovely? And then down here, this is all watermelon down here. And then down on the ground, this is cantaloupe down here. And look at my little patch of corn. I've got at least 25 stalks of corn in there. Down here, these are my green beans. They're not doing well. My dump garden is doing better than my green beans down here. But I think I've just got like a couple of beans on it. I don't even know when it's gonna be ready to pick. But it's like, how am I gonna feed my family beans if I'm only getting 2 beans? So I don't know, it's stupid. So I just stuck a whole bunch more beans down in there, hoping that they'll come up. But let me show you. Look at that. So can you see the little ball right there? That's a little watermelon. I've got a whole bunch of them. Let me come around this side. Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna turn the camera around and see if I can do that. Turn the camera around. Turn around. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to turn camera around. Nope, can't turn camera around. Just updated my phone, so I don't know how it works anymore. But this over there, there's a little one over there, and way back there, there's one there, and they're all over the place. I got a whole bunch down there, and so I don't have any ears of corn yet up there. Let's see. Here's a bunch of my tomato plants. I've got little tiny tomato plants all the way up to this big one right here. And my little one back there has got some little cherry tomatoes on it. That one's got cherry tomatoes on it. And this one's got some nice sized tomatoes coming up on it. And then down here, this is my basil. Josiah likes to come along, just pick it, and he eats it. Because Josiah does that. And so down here, this one is my zucchini, and you can see I got a bunch of flowers on it. But then I've also got I have one zucchini growing. Hang on. Step in here into my garden. Try not to squash anything. So there's my one zucchini. And over here, I'm gonna take you over here. These are my falling over. These are my squash. And look at the size of this, Mom. Look at the size of this squash down here. There's that. Oh, and there is, can you see that? That's a stink bug. It's laying eggs. I'm gonna have to get rid of it and kill all of its eggs too. There we go. But anyway, this is my pepper plant that Carrie gave me. It's got some blossoms on it. You can see the bottom of it's all naked down there because that's where the bunnies were eating it before I got my garden completely closed off. So I got that. All right. And then this down here is my other melon patch, more watermelons and cantaloupe, but that's different, excuse me, because I actually transplanted a bunch of the ones from at the top of the veggie garden and moved them down here, and they're like, oh, we don't want to move, we're just gonna languish here and only grow a little bit, because they didn't like when I pulled them out of the ground and replanted them in a better spot. And they're like, this isn't better, we liked where we were. So see how they're just languishing. There's 7 watermelon plants and 5 cantaloupe plants in there, and they're just like, eh. But over here, That's 1 cantaloupe plant and 4. So I have 5 plants here, and they've taken over this whole section of my garden because I didn't move them. And that little section over there is 12, and they're languishing. They're stupid. All right, so I'm gonna take you down here to my little shade garden. There's my shade garden down there where Rocky is. I'm gonna take you down there. And I got a bunch of stuff that I planted last year that's come up. I don't know what it is, but it's supposed to be for pollinators. So all along here are these things. They're supposed to get a lot bigger every year, you know, because they're perennials. So all of these will get bigger every year, and they're all for pollinators, so butterflies and hummingbirds and bees. And then my mother-in-law gave me one of those boxes of seeds that you shake. So that's what's down here. And look at all these cute little orange flowers that came up from that. I don't even know what they are, but they're cute. And then down here there's also there's purple flowers down here, but I don't know where they are. They're down there. And then I've got some plants started in pots. This is my one pumpkin that I'll move once it gets bigger. These are all beets right there. This is radishes right there. These are old gladiolas, so I just stuck the bulbs in to see what would come up. That's supposed to be pumpkin. That is eggplant, so we'll see about that. That is beets, and that is more radishes. Down here, this is what I use to feed my swallowtails. This is all of this right here. This is my rue plant. I love my rue plant. And again, these right here are more of the bulbs that I planted. I just had a whole bunch of bulbs left over, and I was like, I'm just gonna see what grows. So I grabbed all of my old pots, filled them up with soil, and threw them in. And a lot of them came up. Some of them didn't. Like this just has grass weed in it. Nothing came up out of that one. Nothing came up in that one. But this one has stuff. This one has stuff. This one has stuff. So a lot of them did develop stuff. And now we're entering my butterfly garden up here. It's also Rocky's yard because there's our steps that come down, so he can just come out here, go potty. He can go potty without pooping all over this yard, because that's where the kids play, and that's where we play with our cars and stuff, and I don't need him pooping out there. So this is his poop yard, but it's also my butterfly garden because butterflies like poop. So anyway, yeah, everything. This is a freshly planted perennial. I don't know what it is. That's columbine. This is just to be pretty. That's, you know, sweet potato and petunias. I just put it there because it looks pretty when you're standing on the steps looking down. Yeah, and then, oh yeah, it's not entirely butterfly. Like chives, and I think that's grapes. I think that's going to be grapes too. And then I've got some tomato down here. I've got strawberry growing right here. And this is my blueberry bush. So this is just kind of where I'm starting it. So since they're still in pots, that way I don't forget to water them.
Who are you talking to?
I'm making a video for Oma. And this is more... Oh, Carrie got that gnome for Grandma. Isn't that funny? It is so tacky. Nick is like, Carrie's husband, you know, but Carrie's like, and so yeah, Grandma loves that gnome saying hello to the moon. But yeah, so petunias, but also butterfly plants. And over here, this is all my milkweed. I've had to rope it up, see the rope, because the storms just knocked everything down. But I've got swamp milkweed, and I've got common milkweed. It really is that tall. Like, do you see how it towers over me? That is easily taller than Nick. It's easily 7 feet tall. But that's common milkweed, and that's for monarchs. Swamp milkweed. And then over here I've got 1, 2, 3 more varieties of milkweed. Oh, and my butterfly bush. This is its 3rd year, and it's gargantuan. It's as tall as I am. It's an invasive species and I shouldn't be having it, but I do because it draws bees and butterflies and they like it. And once the butterflies nectar here, then they can go and lay their eggs over here, or they can lay their eggs down there on my roof, or hopefully I'll get some spice bush, no, not spice bush, hang on, that pipe vine swallowtail. And I've got a little tiny baby pipe vine in there. I had to cage it because I have tried to grow this thing 4 times and bunnies love to eat it. So I feel a certain way about that, in case you can't tell. So I caged it, but this is its first year, so it's a tiny little baby, but in future years, this thing will grow up here and be like 10 feet tall with leaves the size of lunch plates, you know, just 9-inch wide leaves. Obviously not this year. This year is just a little tiny baby, but in future years it's just going to be gargantuan. So those are my gardens. I have other stuff growing up front, but my video is already 11 minutes long. So I love you. Talk to you later. Bye, Mom.